We definitely are bringing to you the latest about Declan Rice and his move to the club Arsenal. Hello everyone, and thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and make a point, subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your host Abu Kaus, as we talk sport and as we talk everything that is Arsenal related. And you definitely know that we're heading into the summer transfer window, and right about now has been talked about the main target. Arsenal's main target is none other than Declan Rice. And it will be remembered that Declan Rice signed a 5-year contract that was worth £15.6 million. And this contract was with West Ham, and it included an annual average salary of 3.12 million. In 2023, Rice will earn a base salary of 3.12. Actually, he earned a base salary of 3.12 while carrying a cap hit of 3.12 again million. So anyway, there is something going on between Arsenal, Bayern Munich, and West Ham. First of all, what we know for sure, Declan Rice is definitely up for sale by West Ham. West Ham definitely came up, and they say David Moyes came out recently and said Declan Rice is up for sale as long as the price is right. If the price is definitely one that the club will agree, then that definitely means Declan Rice will be leaving the club will be leaving the club West Ham, and he could be heading to Arsenal or Bayern Munich. Anyway, Bayern Munich could definitely be out of the picture because of what we're going to be talking about. Right about now, you know that Arsenal is looking for a defensive midfielder with uncertainties of Granit Xhaka remaining at the club. There is quite a lot going on, and we definitely think that Granit Xhaka is going to be leaving the club Arsenal, and the club that is definitely willing to pay some good amount of money for Granit Xhaka is Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich definitely came out after West Ham announced that Declan Rice can leave the club if the right amount of money is definitely given to them. He will be leaving the club. So Bayern Munich came in, and the fact that them and Arsenal are looking for defensive midfielders, definitely the market is always the same. They are fishing in the same pond. So one of the best defensive midfielders in the English Premier League happens to be Declan Rice. And as we speak, Declan Rice was definitely taken through a few phases so that possibly he can sign for these clubs. But it will be remembered that Bayern Munich took a further step and contacted the family of Declan Rice. Declan Rice is managed by his relatives, and they had a few words, but the good news is that Declan Rice was not very interested in going to Bayern Munich. So MIKEL ARTETA needs to up his game, make sure he gets him very quickly, because it's not only Bayern Munich that wants him, also Manchester United is a potential threat in signing this gentleman, because he's a very good one. He's a very good football player, still young, 24 years of age. I think the club can definitely get him. Recently, as West Ham said, they needed £100 million for Declan Rice, and he also moved to £120 million. But the fact that he was a £100 million, Arsenal looked at it, and their first bid was definitely in. And Arsenal said they can offer £90 million for Declan Rice. That would be a record signing, because Arsenal's highest paid transfer was that of Nicolas Pepe, which was £72 million. So the fact that they are willing to pay £90 million, you can understand the intensity of how much they need the player. Arsenal definitely are very interested in signing Declan Rice, and it's going to be a very interesting move for Declan Rice if he definitely joins the club, Arsenal. So I will be seeing a few things going on if Declan Rice definitely accomplishes this deal. We will be seeing quite a big change. And as I told you before, it's mainly three clubs that are involved in this right about now as we speak. Manchester United is definitely a bit out. West Ham can keep their football player because he's a class football player, he's a very good one. So we can still say that he can remain at West Ham. There are chances that Declan Rice can still remain at West Ham. Then Bayern Munich showing a bit of interest, also showing quite a lot of interest that they can sign the football player. Then that also is something that we definitely need to look into because they're potential threats. Then the club Arsenal also saying, we're giving you £90 million for Declan Rice. That's a good start for Arsenal, and I hope they can increase the prices and get him. So the fact that what we're seeing, what is ruling out Declan Rice is, what is ruling out Bayern Munich anyway, signing Declan Rice is Bayern Munich want Granit Xhaka, who is a defensive midfielder. And Bayern Munich have also been linked to Declan Rice, who is also a defensive midfielder. So I think Declan Rice, the fact that he's being linked to Arsenal and Bayern Munich looking into the prices of Declan Rice, Bayern Munich is definitely saying this is quite a lot. That's quite a high amount of money. That's a very big amount of money. What about if we go for Granit Xhaka? And we're not going to see two defensive midfielders being signed just in the same season. We're not going to see Bayern Munich. We're not going to see Bayern Munich signing Declan Rice and Granit Xhaka. That's definitely out. I don't think that's going to happen. That's definitely out. It's not going to happen. So Arsenal need to up their game. Make sure that they sell Granit Xhaka if they want. If Arsenal want, they must make sure that they can sell Granit Xhaka to Bayern Munich. That will be a stopper for them getting Declan Rice. Of course, already Granit Xhaka. You can see that he's been linked to a number of clubs, but Bayern Munich, for some reason, they think he can adopt even play much better under their new management with Thomas Tuchel. But again, you have to remember that Thomas Tuchel won in the German Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. But looking at, we can't give him all the credit for winning at Bayern Munich because already when he came, Bayern Munich was doing all right, and he just had to finish off the job, and we will be seeing what definitely happens in the coming time when he starts the season. And that's why he's looking at reinforcement in different fields, because he knows it's not going to be very easy, as Julian Nagelsmann, who was a very good manager but was definitely sacked because of a few reasons. So we could be seeing Declan Rice definitely going to Arsenal and leaving Bayern Munich, because there's no gap for two defensive midfielders in one team. Buying two defensive midfielders just in one season, definitely that would be a bit tricky, and I don't think it's an option that Bayern Munich is looking at. So that will be quite great with the club Arsenal. As I've told you right about now, Arsenal are set to bid for West Ham captain the second time. And there are also a few football players who've been linked to the club Arsenal that we will be talking about. Football players like Mason Mount, he's also been linked to the club Arsenal. Moises Caicedo, Gundogan, and many more. But looking at where Arsenal stopped in the transfer, where Arsenal finished in the EPL table, being second definitely isn't bad. I know there was a big chance for Arsenal to take the trophy, the Premier League trophy. So you can see Arsenal had 84 points and Man City had 89 points. You can see the difference, 84 and 89. 89 Man City, and that's just five gap. Arsenal was very close, very close, this close to taking the Premier League title, because at the last, you can see like in the last games, Arsenal, looking at the last 5 games, Arsenal won 3 and drew 2, Then Man City won 3. No, Arsenal won 3 and lost 2. Then Man City won 3 and drew once and also lost 1. But Arsenal were leading for a very long period of time. But towards the end, I don't know what happened. But towards the end, it didn't go on quite well. Even when you see the clubs that beat Arsenal, really, should they have happened? The clubs that cost Arsenal the English Premier League title, definitely that shouldn't have happened. Those were almost all those games were must wins. We can look at these games and we see really what went wrong. And the last game that Arsenal played on the Sunday 28th of May, that Arsenal won 5-0, beat Wolves 5-0. They were in quite a good. They were definitely very okay, playing very well, But so you can see Arsenal winning the last game with 5-0. Definitely, that was quite great. With Granit Xhaka scoring twice in the 11th minute and 14th minute, Bukayo Saka scoring in the 27th minute. Gabriel Jesus scoring in the 58th minute and Jakub Kiwior scoring in the 78th minute. That was the Arsenal that started the league. And again, you'll remember that on the Sunday 20th of May, and this is in the Premier League, Nottingham Forest beat Arsenal. It was an away game, but even though it is an away game, Arsenal should have been in a better position of winning this, and this game cost Arsenal. And again, Brighton also beat Arsenal, Brighton also beat Arsenal. Those were 2 consecutive losses, from Brighton. And the one of Brighton, the Brighton game, it was a home game. They were at Arsenal was at the Emirates, so this shouldn't have happened, So Brighton and Nottingham Forest, definitely that was not the best of things. Then also Man City. I know with Man City could have been a bit understandable because they can be a bit of a tricky club, So Man City beating Arsenal the last season, I think that should have been okay. But Arsenal shouldn't have lost to Nottingham Forest, and neither should have it lost to Brighton and Hove. And drawing with West Ham also, it definitely wasn't the best of things for the club. Drawing with West Ham, drawing with Liverpool, drawing with Southampton. I mean, possibly could say Liverpool maybe, but it should have been a comfortable win for Southampton, who are even now relegated, Then West Ham game should have been alright, but also 2-2. These draws and a couple of losses, wasn't the best of things for the club. So, the fact that Arsenal is going on with the purchase of Declan Rice, Arsenal is trying to compete in the next season. They're trying to make sure that they can get enough players, solve the problem of depth, and then they can favorably compete for the English Premier League title. And we think it's going to go on quite well. Otherwise, thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter. And make your point, subscribe and ring that notification bell, so that you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. Right here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your host Abu Kaz. As I tell, thank you and goodbye for now.